Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps today. Oh boy, buckle up. I want to talk to you about these three. You guys, I have a lot of thoughts and a lot to say, and I'm going to be talking Jada, Meghan, and Amber. I mean, seriously, does it make you shiver with fear? Because it does for me. I can't wait to talk about this. Before I get into it, I'm going to introduce my co-host, and we're going to talk about, well, what we'll be talking about. So without further ado, say hi. See, I'm a narcissist. I'm cutting you off, not letting you talk.
I'm the show now. No narcissist here, but let's all talk about me.
Yes.
Hey, this is Jay, also known as Dr. Bad Vibes. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube talking about stuff, but today I'll be going Big Willie style.
Na, 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 na. So we're excited to get into this with you. I do want to say a disclaimer. Obviously, we're not doctors. We're not diagnosing anyone. We're just talking. We're talking about what we've observed. And I love HG Tudor. I watch his channel regularly, and I know he is the exorcist. The expert, I promise that wasn't on purpose, the expert on narcissism. That is not me. Just somebody with a brain that can notice very strange behaviors and calls it out. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just talking about things we've witnessed, things we've seen, and some of the points. We found an article about narcissists, and that's what kind of led me down this rabbit hole. They're specifically talking about Jada in the article, but I'm going to show you why I believe it also applies to Meghan and Amber, not as a diagnosis, just my personal opinion. If you really want to get technical, I tend to think borderline personality, lots of different things. I don't think any of these three fit under just one category, but I'm excited to talk about this with you. Thanks for being here, everybody. Honk, honk.
So I'm definitely no expert, but I am somebody that can observe and become invested in very WTF behavior. And, you know, the most recent one, I guess, well, not the recent thing that really got me into it, but the thing everybody saw, the slap when Will Smith went after Chris Rock. And I had no idea what the backstory was at the time. It was just so shocking. So I'm like, why are two people I enjoy watching hitting each other, or what's going on? And Jen filled me in, and it's quite the rabbit hole. So I guess we can go into that more. And then if you're a longtime follower of Jen's channel, Jen covered the Amber Heard stuff in detail, and I'm a casual, I guess, Johnny Depp fan, so I was like, I hope he didn't do stuff. And then the more I listened and kind of jumped in and helped co-host like this, I'm just like, this is a freaking shit show. So
Of Amber,
of Amber, like, just it's stuff that was hard to believe because it was just so out there. And I guess this is kind of going into all of it with all three of them, and it's crazy what parallels exist between them. It's like there's, I don't know, it's like, it's like they're all related or something.
Okay, so this comes out of the Daily Mail, and I'm using it as a reference because it does point out some, well, it's called What is Narcissism, and kind of explains some of the key hallmarks of the personality disorder and relates it back to Jada specifically. So I'm going to be using this kind of as a reference tool. Again, I'm not the expert, CHG for that. But I wanted to use as a reference and kind of make points about the three of them as we go. So this is the article I'm getting the definition of narcissism from and some of the talking points that I'm bringing up. So in no particular order, let's talk attention-seeking behavior. Now, there's a million examples from each of these ladies of attention-seeking behavior, but I'm just going to call out a few of them so we can talk about it. So I'm going to do Meghan first. So for her, there's so many to choose from. It's kind of fun. I listed the near catastrophic car chase. No actual evidence of a car chase. No other information has come forward. In fact, everybody, even kind of adjacently involved, has denied that there's a car chase, including the taxi driver himself. So near catastrophic car chase, I would say, would be attention-seeking behavior. I mean, everything they do is attention-seeking. Everything she does is attention-seeking behavior. Still using titles. I go over this all the time. If they hate the monarchy so much, then why do they cling like hell to those titles? We know why. Piers Morgan, love him or hate him, called her a serial attention seeker. I think that fits. And lastly on her, I'll say, I mean, it's the parking lot paparazzi shots. How many times we're going to see her in a parking lot, in and out, in an airport or airplane parking lot? It's also ridiculous. It's just for attention. All right. So continuing on, attention-seeking behavior. Enter Jada Pinkett-Smith. So we have a new book out by Jada, right? I mean, that seems to be keeping her in the news right now. But she seems to really enjoy embarrassing Will Smith publicly. With this book, she announced, oh, yeah, we've been separated for 7 years. Like, oh, yeah, we forgot to tell you kind of thing. And then me personally, I'll never forget. I think I made a video on this a long time ago, but I kind of covered how she put a camera in Will's face and recorded his reaction to an entanglement. Yes, that is a stupid word. That's the word that they use to, Jay, why don't you explain it to everybody?
Yeah, an entanglement. Way to downplay that. The only things entangled were all your limbs as you banged your son's friend.
Oh,
like that's probably what really got my attention with everything going on with her, because I mean, up until the Chris Rock incident, like, I've always loved Will Smith. I watched like every episode of Fresh Prince when it was new, and then I mean, it was a big deal then. And, you know, I remember it was odd. It's like, oh, he's going to be a movie star now? But, I mean, he's been in a bunch of great movies, too. And then, you know, I knew he was married to her, but honestly, I didn't know who she was. Like, she showed up in the second and third Matrix movies with a very minor role. And I thought it was odd how big of a deal people made of that. But she's really not in the movie that much and doesn't do anything plot-wise, hardly. But then it's like I find out she's acting like she's some queen of Hollywood with this stupid show of hers that allows her to cheat on her husband with a much younger person and then shove it in his face for views on freaking Facebook of all platforms. Like, who the hell was watching that? Some bullshit talk show that she did. And it's like, hey, I know what'll improve my ratings. I'll publicly cuck my husband in front of Facebook so all the octogenarians can like it. Like, who was that for? And, I mean,
imagine if it was the other way around and he cheated on her with a hot young thing. It was like, here's my camera. I'm going to film your reaction.
Yeah, he wouldn't even been around long enough to slap Chris Rock. Which that's a whole other thing. I mean, hey, it did make everybody care about the Oscars for a second, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it was, the Oscars? Yeah. I don't even remember which one. It's like I don't even know what it was. I just know it was on TV. But the whole thing is just absurd. Yeah, I mean, I don't care who you are, what gender you are, what flip it any way you want. Like, that's
You banged your son's friend.
It's so messed up. It's like
He's of age, but still gross.
Yeah. I mean, what was the age difference? Like 20 years or more? I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I mean, it's bad enough to just be cheating on your spouse, and then to be like, hey, I'm gonna put you on camera for my show and see how it made you feel. Well, he's like obviously hurt and crying, and she's like, shut up, baby. Like, and the fact that he stayed with her is baffling. That's why, like, I wonder if he's got Stockholm syndrome or something.
Yeah,
like,
I think it's the narcissism. It's Harry.
Like, it blows my mind that he's still with her. I feel like
he's good looking. He's rich. What's the problem?
Yeah, I think something must have happened to him. And it's like that episode of Fresh Prince. If Uncle Phil were still here with us, I feel like Will would be the episode where he like reconnects with his dad and his dad kind of bounces out again. I see Will, like, he'd be holding on to Uncle Phil, be like, why don't Jada love me? and he just can't give it up. I don't know. It's just baffling. I don't know what to think.
To add on to what you were asking, I was Googling it. She was 43 and her son's friend, August, was 22 years old.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So legal and fine, and I know if it was the other way, people wouldn't care, so I'm not trying to go there, but fucking A, it's your son's friend.
Yeah. Sorry, what was it, 21 and...
22 and 43.
22.
So my age, I don't want to bang a 22-year-old.
No. Like, I specifically... I specifically remember going out with a 21-year-old when I was like 30.
How dare you?
And I thought... This is weird.
Yeah.
like, wow, we have nothing in common. I don't know anything. You baby. Yeah. And it's like, so, plus it's your son's friend. I mean, I don't know anything about what went on there, but
it's your son's friend.
Son's friend. Conceivably, he
juice boxes?
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably been coming to the house for a while. Probably, she probably knew him from years before. Mm-hmm. So, in my mind, if it were like my daughter's friend, that would always be a child, and that would be beyond no. It's just so twisted. Yeah. And then be like, haha, guess what I did? How'd you feel, crybaby?
Yeah. And then shoved a camera in my face and said, hey, let's sit down and talk about it for the world to see. I'd be like, fuck all the way off, okay? Yeah. News update I didn't realize until putting this video together just now. Yeah, they didn't just bang a couple of times. Allegedly, it was a 4-year sorry, I'm stuck on the son's friend. Affair with the son's friend.
Holy crap. Again, young. Does that mean it started at 22? Or did it start?
We're just going to say yes because ew.
Like, yeah. Either way, it went on for a fifth of his life. No. Oh, God. And, so, yeah, I was vaguely aware of that. That's way more detail I now know.
Yeah. Do you think it was to really fuck over Will? Is that why she picked him?
Maybe. I don't know. Like, it's so...
Icky?
It's so messed up. I'm like, I don't even know what the motive was. I mean...
To snag a younger guy?
Was she just like, you boys want some cookies and milk? And he's like, do I?
Oh, God. Gross. All right, let's go over and talk about Amber a little bit. Because I covered this trial. I live streamed it. I talked about it every day for a while. I really got into it. And I hadn't seen... Again, I'm not diagnosing anybody. There's actually a therapist in her trial who I love, Dr. Shannon Curry, who so perfectly explained. She testified that Amber Heard was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder. And I feel like, again, I'm not a doctor, I feel like that's what we got to see in court. It was a shit show to see. And listen, I'm a Johnny Depp fan. I talk about that openly. I just am. But I went into this not knowing, or when I first started covering it, I just thought, wonder what happened here. Sounds like they both live kind of a wild lifestyle. Wonder what happened. But no, shit's crazy. And I gotta say, it seemed to be Amber. I'm not gonna rehash this because I always get something saying Johnny Depp didn't do anything. I agree. He didn't in this case because they recorded everything. She's on tape saying things like, if you don't go along with this, well, then I'm going to set you up. Nobody will believe you. They'll believe me. I mean, just crazy shit. Crazy shit. P.S. Wish we could get those tapes on Harold and Fraud. But Dr. Curry explained that people with these disorders use manipulation tactics. They're very needy of attention. Sound familiar on all three of them? They're needy of attention, acceptance, and approval. But I mean, going back to Amber, Johnny lost part of a finger because she wasn't getting the kind of attention she thought she deserved. And it was gruesome and awful, and what an interesting trial to watch. Okay, so that was attention-seeking behavior. Now let's talk when nothing is good enough. Again, sound familiar? We've seen this a lot with Meghan. I'm showing this picture on purpose because I feel like that's all this Oprah interview was about, a lie fest where she was just saying nothing was good enough for her, Um, just all of the UK was not good enough for her. She allegedly was saying very loudly we should be getting paid, even though her whole life was paid by, being part of the royal family, the royal duties, whatnot. She was loudly complaining about, we have a million examples of nothing is good enough for her. I feel like we're still seeing this now. Nothing is good enough. So she'll just continue to whine to try to get her way. Now we need to talk about Jada. Oh boy. All right. Talk about nothing is good enough. Let's talk the birthday party. If you know, you know. And if you don't, that's okay. We can explain it. So when I was putting together this video, I remembered a tale, if you will, told by Jada on Red Table Talk about a birthday party. I believe it was her 40th birthday party. Jay, do you want to explain what happened for her 40th birthday party? A nice little bowling alley party that they had.
Yeah.
With sheet cake.
A trip to Dairy Queen for an ice cream cake with a fun message on it. No. Well, originally, I remember this story too. We both thought that he'd spent a year planning it. No, he spent 3 years planning it. He says the day after she turned 37, he hired a team to plan her 40th birthday. Spent all this time, and this sour bitch just... She basically said it sucked.
Yeah.
And
she made him feel terrible.
Made him go on her show so she could berate him for her bad birthday. And it's like, all right, you're turning 40. Like, who needs a birthday party after you've turned like 13? I mean, obviously you're going to do something. You'll do something with your family, but you need a whole soiree over. Turning 40. I mean, who keeps track at that point? People will ask me how old I am now, and I have to think, and I'm like, swear, oh no. Yeah. It's like, once you can rent a car, what's left?
Yeah.
Until they invent ultra porn. I think 25 is the max.
Oh my god,
So,
I don't want to know what that is. Oh my gosh. But yeah, she said that the party was for Will's ego and that she was actually mad about it. We watched the Red Table Talk, I'm embarrassed to say. But 3 years, we didn't even spend... I would be pissed if we spent 3 years planning anything. We didn't spend 3 years planning our wedding. We didn't spend 3 years thinking about buying a house. We just kind of jump into these things. Maybe that's our problem. But I just can't imagine spending 3 years. And I'm sorry, if he hired a team, she knew about the party. Come on.
Yeah, there's no way it was a surprise. And I mean, just every photo that pops up of her, she just looks like
Smug bitch.
Like she has the worst case of resting bitch face I've ever seen, with smugness involved.
Yeah.
I mean, pretend you don't know her, and odds are you don't. I wouldn't if I didn't see The Matrix. But,
if you didn't have a man crush on Will Smith.
yeah. So I mean, especially people that work with the public, retail specifically, or even anything face to face. Imagine this lady comes in looking like this. You're gonna think, oh, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Please don't talk to me.
Not my line. Not my line.
She's gonna ask for the manager, or want a coupon that expired 3 years ago or something. I don't know. I mean, she just looks like she's pissed, and everything is constantly pissing her off.
You're so spot on. Okay, so people are allowed to have resting bitch face. I know I do it when I'm not paying attention, but it's more than that. It's an innate smugness as well. I think that's what draws me to the three of them. Again, talking about Meghan, Jada, and Amber Heard, is I don't think I've seen three people more self-congratulatory than these three. And it reads across in their picture, their body language, their actual words, their messages, everything we've seen about them. I think it has a similar theme, similar vibe. Amber took a different route to show that nothing was ever good enough for her. Jay, why don't you... I know this is one of your favorite stories. Why don't you tell everybody what Amber Heard did to show, allegedly, because it wasn't proven, but it was, highly suspicious, that she showed. How did she show that she was not happy?
Well, while we're bringing up parallels between these three, so obviously Meghan dumped on the royal family, and you know, a lot of things involved there. Jada dumped on Will and their marriage and other things. Amber, I mean, they weren't married quite as long, so, and, you know, I guess her star was barely starting to rise. I guess she didn't have the leverage, so she just straight up shit on the bed.
Yeah.
She just took a dump on.
Not a euphemism.
Yeah, I'm not making a joke. It's proven in court, I believe.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was brought up as
Evidence.
Yeah. They didn't have the trial of the turd.
Yeah.
But not that one, anyways. But yeah, she dumped on the bed.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yes. Yeah.
And blamed it on the dog.
Yes. Yeah, she blamed it on the dog, which was, oh God, I don't remember the breed name. It's like a Yorkie or a teacup. It was teeny.
Yeah, it was some tiny yip yip dog that we were supposed to believe
made a human size.
Ripped a human-sized, human-shaped dump on the bed.
And I believe, again, it's been a while since we've covered this, but I used to know these details in and out, but it was the security guard, I believe, went in and found it. Or maybe an assistant. Somebody found it, and yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a transcript, and they were talking about how awful it smelled.
Yes,
it was like,
how big the poop
they're
was.
just like, that wasn't a dog or something.
Yeah.
I think I may be wrong in that.
Yeah.
This is all from memory, but
yeah.
it all signs pointed at not being a dog.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next comparison point I want to discuss that the three seem to have in common is the conversation always comes back around them. So the article was pointing out with a narcissist personality, the conversation always has to circle around you. So Meghan's example of this, there are a billion to choose from, but my personal, I don't know if I'd call it my favorite, but my personal glaring example of this, when she was in South Africa. And what did she say? Not many people have asked if I'm okay. No, you dumb bitch, because you're in South Africa. You're supposed to be talking about the real struggles going on around you, and you're making it about yourself. No, they're not asking if you're okay.
Yeah, nobody was curious how the flight went.
Yeah.
How was the airline food?
Private plane.
How was the caviar on the private plane to this impoverished area?
Right.
Oh,
it's too hard.
So hard. Don't make me do stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, she loves we've seen all the speeches. That's just her thing. She has to make everything about herself. I just did the Meghan speech bingo where I was counting the I. It's kind of incredible. I nailed it down to the per seconds, how many seconds between the I's in her speech. And it was, I already forgot the number. It was like, I think every 7 seconds she had another I in there. Unbelievable. So always making the conversation about herself.
I definitely feel like Meghan, well, all three of these individuals would fit in well with this new subreddit I've discovered called I'm the Main Character.
Oh.
And it's barely related. That just popped in my head. It comes up, it's a subreddit. I've seen the hashtag pop up, I'm the Main Character. Basically, most of it is just people having a public freak out because they think, everything should cater to their needs, like, their order got messed up at a Taco Bell, so they have to shut down the whole restaurant and redo it, or burn everything down and start over. I mean, it's kind of like that. It's like showing up to Africa to help people and be like, does anybody care how I feel? It's like, what?
No.
It'd be like, yeah, it's like you show up to...
you remember the real thing?
Yeah, it'd be like showing up to, I don't know, you see somebody fall down. It'd be like, do you know how I felt when I saw you fall down? That really scared me.
Yeah.
How did I feel? I mean, shut up.
Yes, exactly. All right, let's talk Jada. So again, I'm obsessed with this whole banging her son's friend. Ugh, so gross. So after banging her son's friend, she decided on her Red Table Talk to title the episode, quote, Jada brings herself to the table. So not only is she banging her son's friend, oh, by the way, this image right here is from where she stuck the camera in Will's face to say, hey, we're going to be talking about this on the table or at the table, whatever. And he was really upset about it. But still, it had to be about her bringing herself to the table. And and I even re-listened to the interview to prepare for this and to talk about it. And it's worth a listen because it's disgusting. She talks about herself the whole time and then tries to blame the media for portraying her as an adulteress. I don't care if they were cheating on each other, if she was whatever, that's between them. What I care about is she still made it about herself. He's clearly sitting here like this, miserable. And again, she's like, I think she was truly bragging about it. That's my thought. It's like, I bagged this younger guy. What are you going to do about it? And also, look at me, very much in that style.
I would have loved to see him just smash that table into splinters and then pull out the Men in Black neuralizer and blank his memory of that whole marriage and just be like, I'm out.
I'm out. That's right.
That's just absurd.
Yeah. That's quite an entanglement.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I did all this. F you. What are you going to do about it? Also, I'm still a bitch.
Yeah. But also, I'm going to use it for clout. I hate that word, but I don't know how else to say it. For clout for my channel or for my views.
On fucking Facebook. Yes. Like, was anybody even getting paid on Facebook?
I don't know.
Like, why did you even do it? It's so,
need for attention, I guess.
I'm not trying to say, it's okay if she got paid, but it makes it even weirder. Surely, but it's attention at the end of the day, and it's the worst kind of attention. Like, you think who's going to be, yay, good job.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to Amber Heard making about herself. So this one ended up being a big old meme that came out, a viral TikTok sensation, if you will, that came out of the trial. So she was meant to be talking about, basically telling her side of the story of what she thought went down in the marriage. And she was describing, fights and stuff. And I'm dancing around it. She's full of shit. Everything she said, it's like Meghan, easy, provable stuff she was lying about. And so she couldn't even do her testimony without making details about herself, enjoying the spotlight. And one of my favorite moments to come out of it, Jay, would you like to say the infamous line?
My dog stepped on a bee. Yeah, it is funny. I guess all three couples went viral for different reasons.
Yeah.
Her with her dog. That one went on for forever. Obviously, we know the Harry and Meghan one. My penis is oscillating. My penis is oscillating. Well, and then the Will and Jada one would be, actually making people watch the Oscars.
Yes.
Slapping Chris Rock and telling him to keep his wife's name out his mother effing mouth.
Yeah.
If I paraphrase that correctly, that got a lot of TikTok and other short form play as well. And then, of course, Amber, the dog thing. God, I'm trying to remember the context. It really had nothing to do with anything.
She was leading into what the argument was about, but she was explaining that she had a really bad day.
Yeah. It was about her having a bad day. Like, it was in regard to like some,
fight,
it was like a landlord or something. I don't know. They'd rent it, whatever it was. But the point was, she was trying to be like, "Oh, I had a bad day, so that excused whatever behavior I was exhibiting."
Exactly.
So
feel sorry for me. My dog stepped on a bee.
Yeah, dog stepped on a bee. Wah.
Yes. So we're 30 minutes into this, and I still have so much more to say about this. So I really want to continue on with this because I'm enjoying it. It's interesting to see the side-by-side comparison of the three women. And, I stay riveted by this stuff, you guys. I'm completely fascinated that people act like this. But so I'm enjoying the heck out of it, and I really hope you are too. And let me know if that's something you would like to see more of in the comments below. But in the meantime, should I tell you what to say now, or just kidding? Jay, why don't you tell everybody where to find you and what you're working on?
Well, I'm working on Twitch.
My birthday party.
I'm planning on
7 years from now.
Jen's 80th birthday party. I'm planning ahead.
I won't like it.
Well, I hope you like ice cream from the future.
I do.
All right. But you can find me on YouTube and Twitch. I will be live streaming maybe when this video goes up that evening. Be sure to follow me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/drbadvibes. And then my other two channels, the video game one is just Dr. Bad Vibes, and then the one where I talk about silly news and other things, that is Dr. Bad Vibes Speaks. And I have a decent video planned. I'll probably do it live, and I may edit it up a little bit. I want to talk about my favorite silly horror movies. So hopefully,
what'd you call me?
Pretty Woman. Yeah, my favorite horror movie, Pretty Woman.
I thought you were calling me a horror movie.
But yeah, it's just gonna be like my favorite silly, stupid movies, like Monster Squad and some others. So I will probably edit that up as well for the YouTube channel, and hopefully have that up for Halloween, because the clock's ticking on the appeal of scary movies, I guess. Unless you're into watching them all year like I am, then hey, I got you covered.
There you go.
Anyways, that's where you can find me.
So my favorite horror movie involves Meghan, Jada, and Amber. Going far, far away. You guys, this has been fun. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, huge thank you for all the lovely comments and all the support. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know what narcissistic traits or tendencies that you would like to see discussed in the next one, or future episodes. If there's somebody else we should add to this list, please let me know that too. I'm not trying to just go after women. I have other videos where I've talked about Ezra Miller. I talked about, what's that guy's name? The old Disney guy, Bob Chapek, because that guy was a nightmare. So believe me, it's not just about women. I just find these three fascinating. It just so happens that they're women. But anyway, I'm down to keep talking about it. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you want to further support the show, we do have the Not Bloody Likely. Jay, can you do that in your British accent?
Not bloody likely.
Wow. So check out the Not Bloody Likely. We have that merch. Thank you to everybody who's picked that up. I really appreciate it. And if you also want to further support the show, of course, we do have Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where we do the bonus episodes, the deep dives. About every other day, we got something going on over there. So check that out. Thank you guys for everything, and I truly hope you all have the best day. We are planning to live stream. I don't know what day this is going up versus what day we'll live stream, but I will post it in the community chat. I know Jay's planned to live stream at some point. I'll do the same. So just check back lots, and I'll try to give you as much heads up as I possibly can. So in the meantime, have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.